reported and again, has, I think, if I take Zafar's point further, has led to a sense of revulsion among a lot of people as to what actually happens here.
I don't agree. I think that when we are saying we are giving too much importance to 24/7, why are we not mentioning Bhagalpur? 3,000 in 1989, 3,000 Muslims were massacred by Hindus, and a few Hindus were killed by Muslims. And the bodies of the Muslims were dug in fields. While the dead bodies were swelling in the furrows, tractors plowed those fields, and then the crops were planted in this. So what I'm saying
but the point is that you could not have that today because you would immediately have it flashing on everyone's TV screens.
Vikram, it's not so. Listen, it's
in which case,
one second. May I just say something?
Okay. I'm just coming to that point. That's a good point.
One second.
Come to it.
What's happening is that what happened is that the district media, we are over here suffering delusions of grandeur, having 24/7 television channels. The district media had said that Muslim boys were being killed or something in Bhagalpur. It spread to the rural areas, and there was no information except this and the local media. So the butchering started, the slaughter started. What I'm saying is that actually hatred is very granular, and it happens, something little can spark it off. That time was that it was holiday season. The Muslim boys were being asked to vacate the guest houses in Bhagalpur, and it went into this thing. So I'm saying, no, I don't agree that it cannot happen again, but I do agree that the state can be no longer a bystander. Okay. It can, as Harinder says, it colludes. I am not going to comment on that, but I'm saying it cannot be a bystander. We people will push them into action.
जो कहा गया यहाँ कि जब तक justice नहीं होगा, जब तक until it is established and proven that those who are responsible for a communal riot are punished, until that can be established, riots will keep on happening.
First of all, I want to say that we use the word riots. The riots are the both of side the person's kills, either in a Sikh community or Muslim community or in Christian community. The riot word is wrong. We should say genocide.
So you're saying these are not riots. These should not be called riots. This is more like planned murder.
Yeah. And
Would
we can say genocide.
I said 84 was manufactured. No administration worth its salt
We can't use the word of
cannot stop a riot within 3 hours.
We can say genocide.
Provided they want to. Beyond that, the state is colluding, Vikram.
Okay.
And we know in 84, the rioters had addresses of Sikh homes. They knew exactly where to go to. We saw the same thing in Gujarat in 2002. And talking of the media, the media is not present. Let's take Gujarat as an example. You and I are not going to be in Sabarkantha or in Nareda Gaon Patia, which are the places where the maximum violence took place. So the state also knows where to go.
Okay. Can I just take the state point further? Now, Manish and Chandan and Ravi just dive straight into this. I think there was a time, and there perhaps still is a time, when politicians think that they can win elections, they can win votes, and frankly, they have won elections by stirring up communal passions, sometimes even by encouraging murder. Do you think it is now primarily in the hands of the political parties to make sure that at least people like that should not get tickets? Now, in this election, for example, the Congress party slightly belatedly decided to take away the tickets that were being given. Should those have been given in the first place?
I concede the point which Harinder has been making or Nalini has been making about the state abdicating its responsibility or the state not being able to intervene proactively. But, I would again go back to that conceptual point that why is it, and I'm not blaming A or blaming B, why is it that if there is a fault line or if there is a weak point, if it is pressed, why does this reaction take place? Isn't there a need to more effectively...
What Shami is saying is, what she is saying is that these fault lines are deliberately and cynically exploited by politicians in some cases.
Absolutely.
Did that happen in 1984? And did that happen in 2002? Because if it did, then that's worse than
precisely, that's the point I'm making, that we have to move towards a situation whereby these pressure points or these fault lines cannot be exploited, and those pluralizes and that pluralization is something which is an ongoing process.
That's a societal issue. But first of all, what do we do to the people? One thing is that yes, there's a fault line. Yes, these are rioters and they are being instigated by somebody. But if there is somebody who's instigating mass murder, whether it is in Punjab or Gujarat or anywhere else for political gains, is that in some way not the worst crime of them all? Because it's being done selfishly, cynically, for benefit.
No, Vikram, let me address this squarely. If there is somebody who violates the law, he needs to be punished, he needs to be brought to book. And yes, in the case of communal riots, because we've been using the normal law and order system, it's not been able to deliver. We need to concede that point, and we need to concede that point, and that is why. That is why. Nalini, let me finish. Nalini, let me finish. And that is precisely.
Let's look at the conviction rate.
That is precisely the reason why in 2005 we brought about the National Communal Crimes Bill. You know, it went to a standing committee. It has now come back to the House. This is precisely the reason why.
21 years later, you woke up even to that. I mean,
listen, Manish,
let me interrupt.
Manish, I just want to say one thing. Manish, why are you talking post-riots? We are talking pre such a situation.
And during. Yeah, and pre and during.
And during. But we are saying pre. When we are conceding that we as communities, this plural society, has not found excellent adjustment with each other. We are learning. Zafar is saying we are learning. Now, the point is, are you guys, and put a hand on your heart and say this, are you looking for an occasion to say, gosh, this Zafar is a good vote bank. She's not, and I'm not. So what's happening here is pre-riots. Please think about what you're actually doing. These are tinder boxes. We are aspirational India. We are democratic India. We're densely packed India. We are tinder and politicians and the media. These are the two matchsticks. And you people are exploiting it shamelessly.
Nalini, I would like to rebut that point by giving you one simple example. And that simple example is Punjab, the state where I come from. Despite 15 years of militancy in Punjab, you never had a communal riot. The fact of the matter is, neither side, whether it was the opposition or it was us, tried to incite or instigate those sentiments. So therefore, before we start apportioning blame, I think we should be very careful about what we are saying.
Repeat. Carry on.
From where militant came, can you tell me?
You know, I'll tell you.
I have seen lot of blood in my eyes, in front of my eyes. I have seen 84 riots, and I think you don't know. I have joined after that time, when Congress government didn't give me a justice. I am an eyewitness of Sajjan Kumar. In front of me, they have killed my father, and I want from them justice. And they threatened me. My mother threw me in the Punjab, and after 12 days I became a widow. From where militant came?
Let me just respond. Let me just respond to that. You know, I can absolutely empathize with you for the simple reason that, like you, I'm a victim of violence. My father was killed by Sikh terrorists. My mother is a Jat Sikh. In the 84 riots which happened, 6 months later, I lost my relative. So where do I go? That's why I started off by saying that violence is something which no civilized, sensible society can ever condone.
I completely agree with. Now, Chandan, let me turn to the issue, but I tell you where the problem is coming up. I think what he's saying is right. When this happens, it hurts everybody. It should shame everybody. And if it doesn't,